The Two Arrows. In Buddhist teachings, there is a profound parable known as the Two Arrows. This story offers valuable insights into the nature of suffering and the path to liberation. Join us on a contemplative journey as we explore the wisdom and symbolism embedded within this timeless tale. Imagine yourself in a peaceful forest, where gentle breezes rustle the leaves and birds sing in harmony. In this serene setting, we encounter an archer, a master of his craft. His focused presence and steady hand reveal his expertise. As we approach, we notice his intense gaze fixed on a distant tree. On that tree, there is a minuscule bullseye, a target of remarkable precision. We can sense the archer's determination as he takes aim at this tiny mark. With practiced skill, he draws back his bowstring, finding perfect alignment. Tension fills the air, and silence hangs in anticipation. The archer concentrates his entire being on this singular moment. In an act of release, he lets go. The arrow soars through the air, propelled by the archer's intention. It moves with grace and purpose, guided by a force greater than itself. As the arrow nears its target, almost certain of hitting the mark, another arrow suddenly appears, an unexpected intrusion. This second arrow pierces the archer's flesh, causing him immense pain. The stillness shatters, and his suffering intensifies due to this unexpected occurrence. The parable of the Two Arrows holds deep insights into the nature of human suffering. The first arrow represents the inevitable pain and challenges that life presents. This first arrow is something we all experience, a universal aspect of being human. Loss, sickness, and aging are examples of these arrows that we encounter on our life journey. The piercing and sharp nature of the first arrow is part of the human condition. It is a reality that we must face, regardless of our circumstances. Every being is touched by it. However, it is the second arrow, the arrow of our reactions, attachments, and aversions, that inflicts the most profound wounds. This second arrow symbolizes our resistance to the first arrow. It represents our tendency to cling to stories and narratives around our pain. Our unskillful responses exacerbate our suffering and prolong our agony. The second arrow arises from our desires, expectations, and aversion to discomfort. It stems from our refusal to accept the impermanence of life. We become attached to the idea of permanence, security, and control, trying to shield ourselves from the uncertainties inherent in existence. The Buddha teaches us that suffering is an intrinsic part of being human. However, through understanding and wisdom, we can transform our relationship with suffering. Mindfulness becomes our ally. We can learn to navigate the arrows of life with grace and resilience. By cultivating equanimity and compassion, we can acknowledge the reality of our pain without resistance or denial. We learn to hold our suffering with tenderness, embracing the impermanence of all experiences and recognizing their transient nature. Through mindfulness, we create space between the first and second arrows. This space allows us to consciously choose our responses instead of reacting blindly. We develop the ability to observe our thoughts, emotions, and physical sensations without being overwhelmed by them. This understanding liberates us from unnecessary suffering caused by unskillful reactions. When we cling to our pain and replay the stories surrounding it, we invite the second arrow to repeatedly pierce us. But through mindfulness and compassion, we can gently remove that second arrow, allowing for healing and transformation. We begin by acknowledging our pain, the wounds inflicted by the first arrow, and offering ourselves the gift of self-compassion. With mindful awareness, we observe the arising of the second arrow, the thoughts, judgments, and narratives that intensify our suffering. We notice tendencies to resist, cling, seek revenge, or drown in self-pity. Through non-judgmental observation, we disarm the power of the second arrow. As we learn to respond skillfully to the first arrow, we realize that our suffering is not solely determined by external circumstances but by our internal relationship to those circumstances. We understand that the way we relate to our pain can either amplify or alleviate our suffering. Through compassionate self-inquiry, we explore the roots of our reactions, the underlying fears, desires, and beliefs that perpetuate our suffering. We embrace the transformative power of self-reflection, peeling back the layers of conditioning and unconscious patterns that keep us trapped in a cycle of pain. In the light of awareness, we discover the freedom to choose. We can choose to release the grip of the second arrow, the arrow of reactivity, and cultivate a wise and compassionate response. We can choose to heal our wounds by embracing our pain and allowing it to transform us. As we reflect on the two arrows, let us consider our own experiences of suffering. How can we cultivate mindfulness and compassion to transcend the second arrow? How can we skillfully respond to the inevitable pains of life? Remember, dear friends, within the depths of this parable lies the key to liberation, a realization that suffering is not solely determined by the first arrow, but by our response to it. By embracing the path of mindfulness and compassion, we navigate life's challenges with wisdom and grace. As we conclude this contemplative journey, may the teachings of the two arrows guide us towards the cessation of suffering and the realization of true liberation.